Live from downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit, Local 4 News at 6 starts now.
A very large bill is left unpaid at a local restaurant that's fighting to recover from the economic impact of the pandemic.
It's the notice auto dealers and shoppers have been waiting to get. More vehicles finally on the way from General Motors amid this shortage of computer chips.
In an unprecedented hearing today involving the state's health director and questions about the number of pandemic-related deaths in nursing homes.
We're going to begin, though, with breaking news from Southwest Detroit, where a driver has been freed after power lines fell onto a truck.
It was definitely a tense situation. You're looking at live pictures from Sky 4 at the scene. That's South Dick Street near Oakman Boulevard. Now, take a look from the ground. We're told the truck slipped down a hill, took down several wires. Fire officials say supply lines carrying diesel fuel were also on the truck. DTE Energy able to cut the power. We're told the driver was not hurt.
All right, let's return now again to the issue of COVID-19 in nursing homes. This has been a controversy since just about the start of the pandemic. And today, the state's health director testified Michigan's counts are accurate.
But Republicans in Lansing disagree based on some new unsubstantiated reports that say the state may have undercounted thousands of deaths. Grant Herms has new details.
It's allegations of underreported deaths and accusations there was a cover-up. Now, there's no evidence of wrongdoing in Michigan, but what we do know is that we don't know exactly how many people died in these facilities.
Tense moments today at a hearing about just how many nursing home patients died from COVID.
The number that we have reported on our website is the self-reported number from the nursing homes.
All right, we have two different definitions of accurate. To me, accurate means the number of nursing home deaths. Right. Not what is being reported, but what is the actual number.
Well, we believe that what is being reported is accurate.
The fight stemming from new reporting from Deadline Detroit and the Mackinac Policy Center, which alleges the state may have underreported more than 40% of nursing home deaths based on MDHHS numbers. The state's health director disagrees. She says the data from nursing homes is accurate as long as it comes from nursing homes themselves, which is the majority of the deaths counted. But there are also issues with the state's vital records, including trying to figure out if a patient contracted COVID in a nursing home or whether they were living in one at all, because different addresses can be used by families or funeral directors on a death certificate. In Grand Rapids today, Governor Whitmer addressing the allegations, but stopping short of saying the state's numbers were accurate.
I think every state in the nation is confronting this to some extent. I've got great confidence that ours are close.
Moving forward, Republicans said today they plan to ask the Auditor General's office to get involved to do a hard look at the numbers. In Detroit, Grant Herms, Local 4.
Everyone is aware of what a tough time this is for restaurants, many of which have had a battle just to stay in business through the pandemic. And that's why the level of frustration is so high at a Detroit dining spot where the owner says a large group skipped out on a very large bill. Security video shows several people rushing to their cars just after it happened. Larry Spruill has a closer look at what happened at Sloppy Chops.
The restaurant says it was a party of 4, and they were sitting down at a table like this one inside the restaurant, enjoying their meal. But when everything was over, they simply got up and walked out the door without paying anything.
It's disappointing that we still have people who come out and still do childish things like that.
Kelly Brown is describing those childish things as the recent dine and dash at their restaurant Sloppy Chops on West McNichols. Brown says the group of people seen here running in this security video came inside for dinner Wednesday night. He says the restaurant was having a perfect start to the dinner service, but things turned left quickly.
One of the ladies we had seen in here several different times, she sits at the bar, she sat at several different tables, that lobster, lamb chops, like the whole to do, drinks and everything.
And when it was time to pay, they left in just seconds. But take a look at this man with the jersey on. You can see the name Finkel and number 5 on the back.
Next thing we know, we just see them darting towards the door.
Brown says he was helping another customer at the bar at the time when he heard his employee screaming.
That was a $340 bill. I'm like, oh, okay, good. She's like, no, they ran. I'm like, no, wait, that bill was a large chunk of our business for the day.
Which really hurts because of the pandemic.
It kind of hurts.
And Brown says they are now going over again their safety protocol. The first thing they are going to do is hire security. We're live tonight. Larry Spruill, Local 4.
Really feel for that restaurant. All right. Thank you, Larry.
A 3-year investigation across several cities led to dozens of arrests and sweeping charges today against 40 people alleged to be a part of a gang called the Vice Lords. Victor Williams has more on what they're accused of. And Victor, the scope of this is really historic.
Historic indeed. This is one of the largest investigations of its kind. On top of that, the Vice Lords are a very notorious street gang that's known for just how violent they operate. And this indictment goes after some of the leaders and higher-ups, not only here in Detroit, but also in Chicago as well.
Today was pretty much a reckoning. And the reckoning is one, the city of Detroit has had enough, and two, the federal government has had enough.
40 alleged members and associates of the almighty Vice Lords nation have been indicted for multiple crimes ranging back to 2012. The charges consist of racketeering, conspiracy, extortion, drugs, illegal firearms, and even murder.
If they have got to kill somebody, they will. If they have to shoot them, if they have to assault them physically, if they have to stab them, then they'll do that.
In a joint sting, officers were able to raid 13 homes in Detroit and Chicago, one of them being on Hubble Avenue.
I think it's just guilt by association.
The person who lives there in question, alleged leader of the Michigan Vice Lords, Kevin Fordham, also known as Spaghetti. Yet his girlfriend, who did not want to be identified, is saying that's not like him at all.
I've been with this man for 17 years. We raising grandbabies together. I just don't understand this. He's not that kind of guy.
However, the ATF is saying he hasn't been doing the dirty work and that it's a hierarchy structure that's kept him out of trouble all this time, at least until now.
Mr. Fordham in this gang has several layers of insulation to avoid detection from law enforcement.
And we're told that a lot of these men are going to be due back in court soon, but this is only the beginning of this investigation. We're told that there are hundreds of Vice Lords here in the state of Michigan, over 700 to be exact. So, of course, they're going to try their best to get all of these people off the street. Victor Williams, Local 4.
What a story. All right, Victor.
Well, a slight increase today in the state's new coronavirus case numbers. The state reporting 510 new cases of the virus today. That is up 90 from yesterday. The state also reporting 57 new deaths, all of them coming from a vital records review. Now, on the vaccine front, 59% of Michiganders 16 and older have received at least one vaccine dose. The United States will donate 75% of its unused COVID-19 vaccines to the UN-backed COVAX sharing program. Canada is one of the countries signing on to secure 6 million doses. And we know a lot of people are still deciding whether to get the COVID-19 vaccine. So tomorrow, we're dedicating the whole day to give you the facts. Dr. Frank McGeorge will be in every newscast answering the biggest questions about the vaccines. Then from 4 to 6:30, we are opening the Local 4 phone bank where members of the Detroit Health Department will be standing by to answer your questions one-on-one. Plus, Defender Sean Legg will take us inside the efforts to encourage more people in the city to get protected.
Turned into a pretty nice day as we dry out from the rain.
Yeah, it is. The sun's out, sky is nice and blue, and we're ready for a heat wave. Right, Ben?
Are we?
We're ready.
I guess that's the big question. This is a good middle ground between the clouds and the rain that we saw yesterday and that soaring heat that is yet to come as we head into the weekend. Temperatures just now starting to get into the upper 70s with that late break in the clouds for a lot of us. And the numbers will be very mild tonight, going down to 67 there once the sun sets. We'll stay in the mid-60s tonight. And then it gets hot as we get into the next few days. So the weather story in the next few will be a few sprinkles tomorrow. We'll talk timing on this and why it's probably not going to be that big of a deal. But the first 90-degree day of the year is coming this weekend, and it will not be the last. Even in this forecast, there's not a real cool down as we look forward to 7, 10, 14 days beyond. And we'll check all that out for you in just a few minutes. Don't forget the Local Forecasters app. It's got the entire 10-day forecast and all the heat you can shake a stick at. Download it for free in your app store by searching WDIV. Guys?
Ben. General Motors ramping up production to make up for the global chip shortage that left a lot of dealerships without any vehicles to sell. The automaker says production line efficiencies at the Flint assembly plant are going to help it increase production of its heavy-duty pickups. It'll ship out an additional 1,000 trucks each month try to catch up. Some factories are going to forego typical vacation closures this summer to make up for some of that lost production over the last year. GM says it will cut some of its expected losses. The news sent General Motors stock up this afternoon.
In a Local 4 update, Southfield city clerk is headed to trial after a motion to drop felony charges against her is denied. Last year, Sharakia Hawkins was ordered to stand trial on 6 charges. She's accused of altering absentee records during the 2018 November election. Now, Hawkins filed a motion to quash, which was granted on the 4 of those charges. But today, a judge upheld the remaining 2 charges, including misconduct of office. A jury trial is set to begin in October. Hawkins is running for re-election.
Some good news for people living on Grosse Ile. The plan to repair the bridge just passed its final hurdle. U.S. Army Corps of Engineers has approved the final permits for construction. The Grosse Ile Bridge has been closed for more than a year because of structural problems. The bridge handles 75% of the traffic to the 10,000 inhabitant island. People have had to use private toll bridge to get on and off. We await word on when construction on the other bridge will begin.
Home prices reached a new high last month, continuing a 10-month stretch of new growth. The median home price reached an all-time high of $380,000. Listings were up 5% from last year. Homes are selling 32 days faster than the same time period last year and 18 days quicker than in 2017 to 2019. In a potential sign price momentum may be beginning to cool off, the pace of price growth slowed to 15% in May for the first non-weather related time since April of 2020.
A lot of people around say, boy, great time to sell the house, but then you turn around and buy
go?
one in that market.
It's got to be costly.
Yeah. Ford is calling it the vehicle you never saw coming. We're going to see a small part of the new truck and the celebrity in its ads coming up just ahead. Deborah.
A number of the homes on this street in Pontiac are getting some major construction.